you saw the title. Today we're going to be refurbishing this Nintendo Wii U.
We're gonna do a better job than DK Oldies.
Yeah, this isn't a DK Oldies Wii U, but just DK Oldies, like
is a scam.
anybody who's in management at like DK Oldies. Oi, this is how it's done properly. So crap.
Show them the sticker.
Yep, it's a GameStop Wii U. So I'm gonna break the seal. I doubt it's still in effect anyway.
The seal is broken.
Ho ho!
Oh, my warranty is over.
Oh well, it's not okay. Actually, there's actually a screw under here, so just gotta try to avoid scratching it. Ah, yes.
But it's gonna leave behind like void.
Now we have to. Yeah, that's fugly. I'm gonna need to clean that off. But there are these little pads that are covering the screws, and I see no reason to keeping these, but I'm gonna keep them anyway over here.
It's are they those horrible screws in a star shape?
No. Some of them are Phillips screws, some of them are tri-wings, but they're like different sizes. So that's why I've got the whole bit set here, because it requires that I change sizes. My goodness. Alright, now already I'm thinking, what have I gotten myself into? But iFixit rates it as a moderate. So shouldn't
just like any other Nintendo console. I mean, hey, it's gonna be easier than replacing a screen on the DS.
I mean, it's gonna be easier than. Yeah, it's certainly going to be. And I'm doing this while trying not to scratch what I think is like an acrylic plastic face or something. So I'm just gonna be having a look around. Then I'm gonna blow it out. Blow it out.
Already, that would be a better refurbishment than what DK Oldies does.
Yeah, and then the DK Oldies hardcore boys. The DK Oldies hardcore boys are gonna
scream at us in the comments.
That is, if comments aren't turned off like they usually are. Alex has left to do something else. He's off to do something. So, yes. Now I'm just gonna, so the next step is I'm supposed to take off the screws that are here, that are like right here, there, and there. And then I can, I'll just go ahead and do that. I have removed the screws here and here, and now I can just flip it over and take this bit off. So I'll just set that aside. And lovely, there are more screws. I'll not bore you with that. I will do that off camera. Alright, so I've gotten this bit off of the Wii U, and now here it is. This is the inside of the Wii U. And now it's time for the next step. Alright, so now alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera because I don't want to bore you, because it's quite literally just me unscrewing a screw. No, even I can't make that entertaining, so I'm just gonna stop recording. Here we are. Those two screws are out, and now this front faceplate is obviously wiggling quite a bit, and I can actually remove that. I am going so. But first, turn this around, and there's a tab that I have to lift up, and then I remove this cable, and now I can safely remove it. So we'll just put this off to the side, and then here it is. Now, lovely, more screws. So let me just do this off camera like always. So those screws are removed now. Now I can actually lift up the DVD drive or the CD drive or whatever you want to call it, the disk drive. And on this side, there's actually a ribbon cable that I'm going to, you can't see it because the disk drive is in the way. One moment, please. Let me get a pry tool. Oh, it's all going horribly wrong. Am I supposed to... One moment, please. Here it is now. Remove that, put that off to the side, and then you bet there are more screws. Like, alright, now I'm just gonna, yeah, remove this bit, I think. I'm gonna remove this bit, so, oh, sorry, not in frame. I'm gonna remove this bit, so I'll just go ahead and do that, because there are a lot of screws, and I'm obviously not gonna record that. After quite a bit of work, I've finally got the plastic shroud off. Now we can take this bit off, and then that exposes the heatsink. So yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to basically remove the heatsink, and then I've got this stuff right here, which is thermal paste. It helps conduct heat from the CPU to the heatsink. So yeah, it's silicone based, so it transfers heat like from the CPU and GPU to the heatsink, and then the fan blows it off. And one thing I have noticed, this thing's really dusty. This thing's really dusty, especially the fan. I'm gonna go get some canned air, and I'm gonna definitely blow that out. Yeah, but I'm gonna replace the thermal paste first, so yeah. Alright, now I'll just unscrew these screws and I'll do that. That's fun. These screws are actually spring-loaded. Yeah, it's spring-loaded, so it releases, it like, yeah, that must mean that probably makes it quite difficult to get back in. But, yeah, so I'll just go ahead and, I might need to take this metal bit off, which I hope I don't, because there are a lot of screws. But yeah, I'll try to get this bit off first. Alright, so here we are, and everything is disassembled. I've done the boring bits, I've removed the heatsink, and now all that's left to do is blow it out, and then I'm gonna replace this thermal pad. Now this is just awful. This is just awful. This is quite gross and disgusting, and as you can see, it's dried up. I can tell this thing probably hasn't been replaced since it was made in 2012. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start scraping up. What? I'm gonna go ahead and start scraping this off so I can put on some new thermal paste. Thermal paste, it can be used with this. Oh my goodness, this is, yuck. My goodness. This is gross. Ugh. Gonna need to wash my hands after this. Oh crap, some of it's got on the motherboard. Just gonna, once I've got all of it off, I'm just gonna flip it over. Flip it over and good. No, it's no longer on the motherboard. Now I can just scrape off this remaining bit. So, yes, there we are. Now I can just straight up apply some thermal paste. So, I've got this syringe, but first I'm gonna wipe it down. I've got some 70% isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel in the vicinity, so I'll just go ahead and wet the paper towel, and when it's done, when I'm done preparing everything, I'll show you the process. Right, so I've got my paper towel wet, and first I'm gonna just clean off the bottom of the heat sink, because that's easiest for me. And there we go. I'd say that's clean. The alcohol's gonna evaporate. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a bit gross. I don't know. I'm obviously gonna be washing my hands after this, and I'm obviously gonna be giving this Wii U a good clean, because I actually don't know what chemicals are in this, and they're probably very not very good chemicals, that not chemicals that I'd want on my hands. So yeah, I'll obviously be giving this very good clean once I'm done. Ooh, look at that. Now I'll just do that again. Don't want it to be soaking wet, but I want it to be wet enough. And then I'll just go around the corners, and then I'll wipe down the heat sink once more for good measure. Actually, nah, I don't really need to. Now I'll just wait for that to dry. So I'll wait a bit. But in the meantime, while I wait for the alcohol to completely evaporate, I'm just gonna see what kind of stuff this is. It's not actually a bad idea to do a test if you've... yes, that's good thermal paste. It's not watery or chunky at all. So yeah, that'll do quite well. So yeah, let me just put the cap back on for now. This syringe is giving me doctor's office vibes. Right, the moment you've all been waiting for. I'd say that it's dry. So yeah, I'm just gonna set this heat sink right down here. This is not a good time not to be organized. So it said to apply about, I'm supposed to apply about as much as like the size of like a grain of rice or a pea. And I'm just gonna go over here so A, I can see better, and B, you can see better. So about the size of a grain of rice or a pea. Yes, that is good. Now it's time to put the heat sink on. Put a decent amount of pressure on it. Try to keep it from sliding around. There we go. That looks... Now I'll just put in some screws. It's sliding around. This is a bit difficult. I'm gonna stop recording so I can put my full attention to this, because this is a bit of a difficult process. One thing, when you're installing the screws, when you're like just first putting them in, you should put them in sort of a pattern where it goes like this. Goes in the, so if I put one here first, and then I go to the opposite corner, and then put one in there, so the pressure is divided like evenly. And don't fully tighten them yet. Don't fully tighten them yet. Wait till they're all screwed in, and then you can start tightening them individually. So then I'm gonna be going to this corner, and I'm just gonna think that's in. That feels about right. And then now the last corner. I've never seen screws quite like these. These are spring-loaded, which is interesting. So, yup, everything is in. Now, tighten them. I'm just gonna make sure they're in, and then I'm gonna start like really tightening them once each of them is like just, I know, is set in there properly. Alright, that's tight enough. Don't want it to be too tight. That, good. That is good, and yup. All good. And I'll just wait for, let me just make sure there's none of that stuff spilling over the edges. So I'll just do that off camera. Oh, and, just one thing. I mentioned that the console was very dusty earlier. I've got my canned air on standby. But yeah, I just want to say something, like DK Oldies, they don't really refurbish their consoles. I mean, they might be doing it now, but I'm not even sure if they are doing it now. But so if you are in management of DK Oldies, just use this video as like a guide. I mean, it doesn't even have to be specific to the Wii U. It can just be like, apply thermal paste, blow out the dust, like so. That's funny. Alright, now, back side of the fan, heat sink, there we go. So, I'd consider that refurbished now. Now I just have to get it back together, which is the difficult bit. I really don't like this. It was very difficult to get apart. It's probably going to be just as difficult to get back together. So I'll probably end up doing that later. So that's it for now. I'll continue whenever I feel like recording some more. Right, so, but before I put this thing back together, I am going to clean a bit. So I noticed that the vents on this side were really quite dusty. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blow that out, and if I need to, I'll use some isopropyl alcohol. One moment, please. I've blown that out, and now I'm just gonna wipe a bit of the dust off the fan. So take a bit of my paper towel right here, and the canned air wouldn't get the dust off because it must be really stuck onto there. So just gonna wipe it a bit. Oh, that other side is very, I don't know if I can get that. I'll do my best. There, good enough. Now let's see the paper towel. Actually not too bad. Let me just so yeah, there we are. Now the thing is, all right, it's ready to be reassembled. Now I just need to this is going to be quite difficult. Sorry. Here it is. I've put it all back together. And now it's time to see. Now it's time to plug it back in, and I'll play a game on it. Alright, now for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to plug in the power. Oh yes, we got a red light. That means it works. It's taken so long. This refurbishing project was over the course of 2 days, and I'm so glad that I'm finally finished. And I think that to demonstrate its abilities, I think I'm gonna play what is probably one of the best Nintendo Wii U games ever released, and that is Super Mario 3D World. So I'll just go ahead and put this in the disk drive and I'll boot it up. Here it is, the Wii U, and now I'm gonna play Super Mario 3D World. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play the first level. Oh, I love Super Mario 3D World. This is probably the best Wii U game. Or at least the best Super Mario Wii U game. That's like a regular Super Mario game. So, yeah, I'm gonna... Alright. Give me my boy Mario. Alright. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and play the first level. Now, to demonstrate its abilities, I'm gonna play the first level. Alright, so yeah, it plays quite nicely. I'll check the temperature of the fan in a second. I'll check the temperature of the air coming out of the fan in just a second. So yeah, when I'm done with this level, I'll check the temperature of the air coming out of the fan, and it shouldn't be too hot because I just replaced the thermal paste. Alright, so... Alright. This is really quite fun. I enjoy this. It's a bit unelegant. Sorry. And there we have it. the Nintendo Wii U. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that right there is the last screw. So, yeah, I can finally use it.